All right, y'all. We're on to episode 5 of the Itty Bitty Podcast. This week, my guest is a gentleman by the name of Mike Wilson. I've known this guy for a long time. He's here to talk about his clothing line, Capital Vice Apparel. He also talked a little bit about his side project, Shed When You're Dead Beard Balm. So we talked a lot about that as well. We also talked a little bit about our days of running around as hoodlums when we were younger. So it's a great podcast. And remember, it is not a podcast about a clothing line. This is the Itty Bitty Podcast. It's anything but, and it starts now.
Welcome to the Itty Bitty Podcast. It's the Itty Bitty Podcast. It's the Itty Bitty Podcast. The Itty Bitty Podcast.
All right. Oh, that's loud. Have I got a treat for you guys this week? I have a good buddy of mine here, Mr. Mike Wilson of Diamond Art Records.
Scum.
That's why I set you up and asked you that question just a minute ago. I'm just joking. My buddy Mike Wilson of Capital Vice. Capital Vice was a clothing line, and Shed When I'm Dead beard products. So he's sitting down to hang out with me, and I feel like we're going to get real weird here shortly because I've known you for a long time.
Very excited about it.
So I guess we should probably, before we go off the rails, I think we should probably talk about, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Capital Vice? You want to talk about Shed When I'm Dead?
We'll do Capital Vice. Capital Vice has a lot more brand build right now. So.
And you've been doing that for a lot longer, right?
Since 2012, I think I launched it.
You had a different name, right?
No, it's always been
Capital
Vice or CVA. But yeah, I started that in 2012, and then it started really taking off around 2015.
Okay.
The first 2 years was kind of just giving away all the free shit, and then hope it would stick. And then we finally got a hold of a lot bigger, names that helped out a lot. And then the goals, just setting goals for followers and how many products I wanted to come out with, what kind of niche I wanted to stick with. Didn't really have an angle of who I wanted to aim at. I still don't, but It worked out.
Yeah. How often are you doing new clothing? Like, are you doing new designs and shit?
So that's the crazy part. So what I first did was I had a designer, and he was a portion owner of the company.
Okay.
And then he kind of, he was great, still is a great kid. We kind of had a falling out, but we just recently started talking again. But he was more along the lines of he wanted to go towards being a tattoo artist and, take his talents elsewhere, which made sense. I had a lot more interest in meeting the celebrities and going to different places to party with them. And I was more so for the name and the look. He was more looking for the money and the career path.
Right.
But I already had a career path going where I was making money. It didn't really matter if the clothing line made money or not, because I wasn't looking to live off that money.
Right.
Where with him, it was he wanted to, come up with a design, make money off the design, let's push a new design, that type thing. With me, it was more so let's see how many people that are in the industry or random celebrities from A to Z list. I just wanted to see how many people I can get involved and how many people I can get involved for free.
Right.
So I can get the free promotions, free marketing, and then really just get the look down where I can go out to certain places, have these celebrities near me or athletes, and it got to that point where it's a really cool structure now. I have personal phone numbers for a bunch of big names, and even more are pouring in. So
right.
It's going crazy, but that's where it started. Now it's more so free range. If people email me or shoot me a text if they have my number, if they're a designer, I give them a shot. So, if you can design something dope and you want to do it and try it, understand it's not money right up front. If you want, I'll give you $200-$300 for your design, but the goal is to have you want to be an artist that has so much, I don't even know the word, so much spirit, so much energy into their designs that you'd rather be someone that gets paid per item that's sold.
Right.
Versus just a one lump small sum of $300.
Well, and you get exposure too. You get
exposure, everything. You get to come along for that journey. The journey, I've been talking about that for years. It's been a long thing, and I can continue to say it's going to become a longer thing. I have so many different visions and what I want to do, but
the looks changed a lot.
Oh,
since
absolutely.
the beginning.
Well, the beginning was kind of just
more streetwear.
Yeah, exactly. It was almost like I felt like we were selling.
It was like Mike Wilson Goes to the Hood.
Yeah, exactly. Diamond Art Records.
We're going to talk about Diamond Art Records.
I can't wait
at some
for
point.
that.
Yeah,
when we went on that tour we paid for.
Yeah,
one night.
We're going to get to that. I'm excited for
I believe you called me bow-legged that night.
Did I call you bow-legged? You sound still hurt by that.
Oh my god, dude, I was dying. No, because Vinny brought it up the other night, and I was dying. Because I don't
remember calling you bow-legged.
Bro, we went down. We went down to the T of where and when it happened, and I couldn't stop laughing. I'll bring you back to it just right before we start with the Capital Vice.
Was it the T?
Nope. So you ready for this?
What?
Me, you, and V, and was there a fourth with us?
Yeah, Tommy.
Oh, geez. Tommy was with us, and
can we say is the name that we called him, or what the name that he was given?
Yeah,
this was years ago.
What was it? I forget.
Tommy Tourette's.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Tommy Tourette's.
Because you would say shit and he would repeat it back, so you kept getting him to say like different shit.
Yes. Okay.
This is we curse a lot on this podcast, so you could say whatever the fuck you want.
Cool.
Yeah.
No.
Tommy Tourette's, and you would say queef.
Oh yeah, queef. Yeah, no, that was funny. So we envisioned it. So the best thing about this. So we ended up just a quick track story. I used to have Diamond Art Records, which I was a like the most Section 8 music producer you can imagine. I basically downloaded a stolen beat. I used like a free trial run of some sort of music recording.
Like Fruity Loops or something.
Yeah, Fruity Loops. And I had a dope microphone, and I was really good at making the voices sound like they were inside the beat. That's basically all I could do.
But you were like a teenager trying to do some shit that nobody else. That's why I was fucking with you, because we were both like teenagers and nobody else was trying to do stuff like that. I mean, most kids just would go home from school and do other shit. So you were at least trying to do something.
Yeah, no, that's the cool. Like, shout out to my parents. I mean, they're one of those. They're one of those family, or one of the
Danny
family.
Connie, right?
Yeah, Danny Connie. But yeah, no, the best thing about them, I can come home and say I wanted to be a fucking an engineer, and I would come home 3 weeks later, and my dad would build something in the basement and be like, all right, fucking go for it.
Right.
I remember at one point I was like, yeah, I want to become a music producer. And he was like, all right, well, as long as your friends don't suck, like, and you can go in the fucking basement. And, he's had his electrical license. He has a lot of friends that were doing the carpentry stuff, and they built me a recording studio. You know what I mean? And
it's like a legit little studio.
And it's still there.
And we just would get drunk.
We would get drunk, and then we would do Lil Wayne covers. And, but no, it's just that was a cool point in the life. But we're getting into that a little too much.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So, anyways, the whole bow-legged thing, it's funny as hell. So, I was wearing shorts. None of us were 21, so I ended up walking into a liquor store, and for some reason, I looked like I was just like a 16-year-old thumb. I had no facial hair, anything. I walked in, I grabbed a 30 rack with confidence, and the guy sold me it. And back then, it was like crazy because I just walked out, everybody was cheering, and Mr. Perry over here was high out of his mind, and he saw me walking, and he goes, I didn't realize that was you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, dude, are you bow-legged? And I till this day I don't understand it, but it was funny as hell.
You were fucking walking,
I smoked weed for the first time in forever the other night, and Vincent was there. And he looked at me and he goes, bro, your legs look like they're about to snap. Are you bow-legged? And I go, shit, what the fuck? I go, Perry said that like 10 years ago. So I apparently when I smoke weed with my friends, I don't know.
We think you look like fucking Yosemite Sam or some shit.
Something, dude. I got midget legs or something.
That's funny. We'll talk more about that trip.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Capital Vice.
Capital
Vice.
Vice.
You started with just a couple designs, and like we started with what? Very basic shit.
We started with one logo and about 8 designs. Probably the most backwards way you want to start a company, but I decided to do it. I thought quantity was quality when I was completely ass backwards. I mean, doing it nowadays, I have the rhythm down to the point where now I'll always be in the green. I'll never be in the red, where back then it was always red, and it just got darker red, and then I would invest more money and just get darker red. So basically I had a bunch of frozen inventory. I had 14 magenta shirts with green writing, and one person in the world would wear that. You know what I mean? So I could sell one, but...
I have a yellow with the black.
Yep.
I have the purple with the gray, which I still think those looks were pretty dope. Those were like the later ones. And then I have... From the original ones, I had I think it was the red when you had the red with like just the CV on the side.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, so that was like the first one I had. But yeah, you you've come a long way for sure.
Yeah,
the designs are a lot like more casual, I guess now. Is that like?
Well, that's another cool part too. So when I was talking about the design aspect, I mean, when you get that type of thing where I built a nice following. When we first started, I obviously had 0 followers, but on Instagram alone, I think we have like 81,000, and they're organic too, because it took years to get to that point. At one point, I had promoter. I don't want to say his name because he probably will find somewhere
You
weird.
don't have to say anything.
But yeah, either way, our mutual friend Keith introduced me to a promoter that basically was just trying to get involved to take money. That's
right.
what he was doing, you know? And it got to the point where he was doing interviews and doing stuff like that, and he would post a video, and every time you refresh it, there'd be like 1 million new views. And we'd be like, well, what the fuck's going on there?
Right.
Nobody's ever heard of Capital Vice. Like, why do we have 2 million views? And then that's a bad look for the brand in itself. But growing up and understanding that now it's more so about bigger brands like PacSun, Zoomies, anything like that. Anybody you reach out to like that, they start off the conversation with, how many followers do you have? So 81,000. Awesome. Are you confident that they're all organic followers? Yeah, for the most part. For the most part, doesn't do it. Let me explain this to you. So if you have anywhere close to 500 robots or fake followers, we axe the whole deal, and you have no chance of coming back to us. If we were to re-ask you the question, do you think 500 is a reasonable number? And I said, honestly, I had a clown taking care of my social media when I first started, so I don't want to get that held against me, but I'm confident in my following that I built.
Right.
And they asked the question again. They said, all right, you have 80,000 followers. If we told you right now that we'd sign a deal with you, you can become a millionaire over the next year, 2 years, but it was all based off if you could have under 500 fake followers. Would you sign the paper right now? And I said, absolutely not.
Right.
Because that's out of my hands, and I'm not going to do something where it would jeopardize it. So I said, all right, now that we're talking numbers and we're talking all that, how can I guarantee myself a spot to have a sit down with you in a more reasonable time?
Right.
The guy said, build your following up to 120,000 followers. Once you do that, we'll have a sit down. We'll go over the robot talk again, and we'll make sure it works. So what I did was I went through. I ended up downloading a software program. It was almost, I think, $850. And what it did was it wiped out all my fake followers.
Oh, nice.
And all I could fucking imagine in my head was, thank God I turned that down. I had almost 12,000 fake followers.
Ooh,
so that program deletes all your followers, and you start back from just your original real followers. So I'm sitting there. So now I have 69,000 followers, and I built it up to 80 organic. So now I can honestly say that if I have a post, if people don't engage, people just don't like what I'm posting.
Right.
So that makes me feel a lot more confident, because let's say if I can make it to the 120 mark, I know that I can land a deal.
Right.
I mean, that's what was scaring me, because when you put it in that perspective where you can have millions of dollars on the line, or your clothing line goes to shit, or your business goes to shit, nobody explains that to you, All these places will offer you, 20,000 followers, send me $200.
Right.
Yeah, and then all you do is shoot yourself in the foot, because you're going to have to delete that money that you spent regardless if you want a shot.
Yeah.
So.
And I've found that, like, starting this podcast and shit, that it's just it's a grind trying to, like, build a following on social media.
Absolutely.
Dude, you got to learn how to do it. You got to learn all the ins and the outs. And
do you know how many fucking people are going to have belly laugh hurts from when we start getting a little saucy off these claws?
Oh, yeah, dude.
And they're going to laugh and laugh and laugh, and then they're going to forget to hit subscribe or follow.
I know.
You know what I mean? 1,000 people
I make
can
it
listen.
easy for people, though. I have it set up to one link, so you can go. It's one link, so you can go to everything. So, like,
dude, I give away
so
trips.
easy.
I give away trips, and I go, hey man, tag 2 friends, follow, like this picture. Everybody likes the picture. Everybody tags 2 friends. Nobody follows. You got to make it easier than easy. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm still kind of learning and shit. I mean, I can't give away
anybody
any trips.
listening to this, follow.
I can't give away any trips, but I can, like, I can
now.
offer. If somebody comes to me, I can maybe give them a hand job. That's like the most I can probably offer.
No, fuck that.
No,
you're not that good. But that's the good part, man. I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, with my business growing and you starting to grow a business, those trip giveaways, I can do that whenever I want,
right?
Which is crazy. And it's not like a shanty where you go to Elizabeth, New Jersey.
It's not like the fire festival.
Yeah, exactly. This is like a legit thing where, I mean, you pay for your airfare,
right? But
we'll get you a dope ass suite somewhere weird. There's one in Thailand that everybody keeps trying to go to, just to
Well, yeah, because there's like ladyboys and shit. Is that what you're talking?
No, I mean creepier people want to bang little kids. But,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's a little weird.
That's gross.
But yeah, ladyboys too. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's big there too.
But yeah, man. But if you ever want to do a follow spree when you get to like 1,000, 2,000 followers, whatever you want, we can give away a trip.
Yeah,
it's more along the lines of how many people are listening and who wants to share it, and that's how we have to do it.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to do this podcast like 10 years ago. I think like if I was 20 years old, I just didn't have enough experience. Oh shit! Absolutely. Professionalism. Luckily, you're on a podcast. This is not professional at all.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That was actually just my random alarm for me to do nothing. I set them every once in a while.
So now you've got your following up. You're back doing Capital Vice.
Yes.
So what's like the day-to-day Capital Vice stuff looking like these days?
Realistically, as crazy and shitty as this sounds, in order for me to get to that following, I had to do 3 things that I would never want to do.
We know what that means.
Yep.
But go ahead and tell us.
So blow a guy. I'm just joking.
I figured that was number 3.
No, that was it's not even on the list. But so the number one thing that sucks about going for this bigger journey of the clothing line is everything I worked for previously kind of gets axed. What I mean by that is it took me, I want to say 3 years, over the last 3 years, to build up my website. My website's one of my pride and joys. You can log on Google Analytics. If I post something, I see, 500, 600 people are on the site, 1,400 people are engaging, all that cool stuff. I had to take down my website.
Oh, did you?
3 weeks ago. So they want all the traffic and all the statistics to go through Instagram. So if someone wants to buy a shirt, they literally have to inbox me on Instagram.
They have to go through Instagram?
Because they want everything that you would have a follower do going through that one line, because they have to prove that all these things and all this engagement and all this is just clicks and making sure that it's real. That's how crazy it is. And when they said that to me, I was a little confused. This wasn't PacSun talking either. This was Zoomies. And Zoomies is a small fucking company.
Zoomies is not that big.
No, it's a small company, and they basically were like, we want your username, we want your password, we want to be able to link it up to our system, and we want to see what you can do with it. Understandable, but that kind of sucks, Step 2, which they made me do, I want to say like a week and a half ago, I had to turn my Instagram into a private Instagram. So what that does is it makes sure that no one can see anything that I post unless they follow me. A lot of people get turned off by that. So I'm a clothing line, I'm not a CIA agent.
Right.
I shouldn't have my shit be private if I woke up on the 4th of July and it was Walk a Flock of Flame. Right. I was really cool. He was saying, Happy 4th of July, Capital Vice Apparel, thank you. And, I post that, and then I get, X amount of views when other people could be sharing it and all that. So it takes away my stuff getting shared. It takes away who I can converse with, all that stuff. So between the website and that, it's kind of slowing down the following that I'm looking to get. Mm-hmm. But it's just more obstacles that they throw in your way to make sure that you're hungry for it. Right. Because any other brand would just sit there and hire, outsource, lie. You know what I mean? Right. If I
fudge it and shit.
Yeah, if I was a scumbag, bro. If this was 4 years ago and I was my scummy self, I would have hired a bunch of interns and said, hey, listen, I'm going to write off your hours saying you worked for me. I need you to build this following 120. If you don't, I'm not writing off your hours. Damn. And I'd be there because they would do the scummiest shit to make sure, But that's the price you pay, bro. In this world, you either fuck people over and you make money. You don't fuck people over and you get famous, but you don't make money. Or you're already famous and you don't care who you fuck over, and you don't care who's looking at you, basically.
I feel like if that was shorter, I could turn that into some type of a T-shirt. But...
No, absolutely. And then I'd pay you per sale on it. See how that works? It's a circle.
It's a circle. So, all right. So now, what else as far as Capital Vice? What do you have going on in the future?
So I don't know if you remember, we were doing those beer pong tournaments.
Yes.
The funniest thing
I thought that was a great idea, to be honest. So
that was funny, man. We had one beer pong tournament over at it was this place called the Commonwealth, which a lot of the people listening probably won't know what that was. Some might. There's a place called the Commonwealth, and we asked them. We were like, hey, real quick, how many people does this place hold? I wanted to do it strictly for obviously to make money, but to get a little bit of a following with the Capital Vice. I relaunched the brand like I want to say 3 years ago, trying this out. The guy told me, he's like, yeah, we can fit like 400 people here legally. So I was like, all right, that's a big stretch on legally. What do we have to do to get more people in here? He's like, you'd have to pay off a police officer, honestly. I was like, all right, so that's in the chamber. Now I know what to do when more people show up. So me and my buddy Matt sat down, and you met him probably 20 times or a handful of times at my Albion house when I when I first had that. But so basically, I called him up and I said, listen, man, you're a master of marketing in yourself. You're a very successful person. I need your help. So we want to market this. I want it to be a beer pong night where we gave away Bruins playoff tickets. We gave away remote starters. We gave away all this stuff.
Right.
And then I was like, I need like a celebrity, but not like a crazy celebrity that's going to charge a bunch. So at the time, I was working with CT, who was all over MTV.
From Road Rules, Real World?
Honestly, I think it was just Real World, and then The Challenge is what got him skyrocketing.
But that's where he started, right? Was it Real World?
Yeah, he was the face of MTV, being like the badass
the
of
bad
MTV.
boy
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Boston.
And he would fight every chance he got, and I was like, fuck, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to CT. So I was working on an alcohol with him at the time, and I was like, hey, man, I need you to show up in Quincy, Mass. At the Commonwealth. And I need you to just show up for me so I can have this huge event. And he looked me in my eyes and he's like, listen, man, you cover the booze. I got you. And give me $500 so I can pay my security. I'll help you grow. And I was like, that's fucking huge of you, man. So we put 3 weeks into the flyer, and they had the click man at the door, making sure, everybody's coming in, everybody's getting paid. And then midway through the night, the owner came up to me and he's like, dude, we've done $13,000 in liquor sales in cash. I haven't even looked at the credit card receipts. And I went up to the door guy and I'm like, how many people are clicked in here? They said 750 people on the first event. I was like, holy shit. And then I'm smiling, I'm having fun.
Right.
Everybody else is having fun. And they got to the point where it's like, oh shit, like that cop never showed up. I was like, what the hell's going on? The cop shows up. And the dumbass kid that I paid $20 and bought his beers, he's the click kid. A cop literally just asked, hey, I'm running a little bit late. How many were you at? He told him like 740, 750. So the guy's like, who's running the place? I'm going to have to shut it down. So we went out, we gave him the door cover. And we said, listen, man, obviously we can't disclose who he is, but listen, man, we need this to stay open at least till 1 a.m. We're trying to build something here. And the guy was cool enough to let it happen. And something caught wind with Quincy where we weren't allowed to do that. We couldn't do it there anymore. But that was the first one. The second one we had like UFC fighter. He was the guy that we had going there, and a bunch of fans showed up for him. And it was all about the marketing and the branding. But the truth be told, that's what I want to look into doing again. Yeah. I want to do that it's a great thing to have during the winter, somewhere to go where, when it's nice out, you're not going to have a lot of people in there. But if I can do that during the winter and just keep building, the whole point is I want to get to the 120. Right. I could care less how I get there. I'll do that. I'll sell fucking hot dogs, whatever we have to do.
Go on a shitty podcast.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Perry Phillips, shout out. But no, man, it's anything I can do to build that. All I need is people to fucking log in, click follow, change my life. And
why don't you say the handle?
It's at Capital Vice Apparel.
Okay. At Capital Vice Apparel.
Yeah,
and we'll say it again before the end.
Yeah.
Unless we're like blacked out by now, but we'll see.
We should be
no
okay.
laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
That's what I'm saying, man. Got my paws on some claws. But yeah, man, it's that's the spiel of it. It went from such an entertaining brand to following these rules. I can't really say selling out because at any moment I could say fuck it, go back to selling it, out of my trunk and all that stuff. But I have all the people there that I need to be there now. I just need content. I need something to share that's going to blow up the following. So I don't know if it's a viral video. I don't know what I have to do, but I'm going to figure it out. I mean, I got to 80,000. I can easily get the other 40. It's just a longer road, it seems.
Right.
But now it's kind of go back to the drawing board and come up with something a lot more creative.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll gain a little bit with the trip giveaways, but it's not going to be enough.
Right.
So now it's thinking outside the box. That's where I have to really sit down and grind it out. That's what my day off tomorrow. That's a lot of what I'm doing tomorrow is thinking of different angles and ways to attack. Especially because I have that big thing coming up that I told you about where the fitness trainers and Patriots, Bruins, that type thing.
Well, why don't you was that something you should mention right now or no?
Yeah, you can't really do it till the paperwork's signed.
Okay.
I mean, I met with the guy, which is awesome, but it's basically just someone that he owns a fitness center and he trains a lot of the Bruins players and a lot of the Patriots players, and he wants to help me out. I'm going to pack his pro shop with a bunch of my stuff and get his stuff made for a lot cheaper than what he's paying And then to give back to me, he understands how much this 120 means to me. And there's a fitness guy that's the personal trainer for a lot of these athletes, and he's on board to see if these athletes will wear the stuff during training, get a couple pictures taken, then tag me in it. And if that can happen, I'll be well over 120 within the next 6 months.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the grinding ways. I just got to figure out what the angles of attack are. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you've always thought outside the box. You've always
trying, trying, dude.
So have you ever done like any type of cross promotion with the beard products?
No, not really. So, as weird as it sounds, me and the beard guy.
Your beard actually looks thicker, by the way.
It does, dude. It
used to look
smells like cherry. Yeah, it looks like pubic hair before, but now it's thicker.
It looked like, I don't know, it looked like a bird's nest or something, plus pubic hair. Like it's a bird's nest made out of pubic hair before.
I can 150% agree with that.
And you just had like the thing under your...
The soul patch? The flavor saver, if you will?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And I don't think it looked grosser than when you wore it. Just...
Actually, there was a guy named Mr. We'll just call him Yibbits, but there was a gentleman at my high school who was the art teacher, and he used to have the longest flavor saver.
Oh,
and he did not make it look well.
The only reason I said that is because you taught me that expression, flavor savers, and I thought that was
absolutely
funny. So
it's amazing. But yeah, man. So no, cross branding hasn't even come yet. So what was cool is the guy Mike. He's like he's like Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, where did it come from?
I hit him up on Let Go because my beard looked like a bird nest pubic hair region, and I hit him up on Let Go because that's how weird I was. I was like, where do people buy shit for beards? Like, and like, you know, the internet hasn't been invented yet, so I went on Let Go, and I basically hit up this kid, and then we got to talking, and he's like, yeah, meet me in Brockton. I'll give you give me $20.
You didn't think to ask your barber?
No, I was going to Supercuts at the time.
Oh.
I just started going to a barber.
Well, the reason I said that is because I didn't ever think to ask my barber that shit. And I got a new barber, and he just mentioned, like, you know, your shit's kind of patchy. Have you used beard oil? And I started using the beard oil, and I saw a little bit of a difference. But honestly, from the beard oil, like, I would plug your shit anyway just because I like it. But going from the beard oil I was using was just like the shit from the store to the stuff that I have with you. Yeah. I noticed it coming in a lot thicker, a lot fuller, and I never knew having a beard like that you had to do shit like that.
No, me neither. I mean, my brother-in-law has a massive beard, and it was just so I met Mike off Let Go, which sounds so funny now that I'm actually saying it for the first time. But I met him off Let Go, and we started talking about how he's had a brand for a while and how it's growing slower, and how I had a brand for a while, and he was always giving back to the community, and I was just trying to give him all these tips. And basically, he looked at me like, "Dude, do you want to give me tips, or you want to work on this together? Let's do this." He's like, "I'm basically licensed to cook this shit. I can cook it with CBD. I can do this. I can do that."
Oh, you got CBD in your shit?
Yeah, I have it in my car, dude.
You have some shit with CBD?
Yeah, dude, 200 milligrams of CBD.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought and it's beard stuff? It's
beard stuff, but it instantly, because of shout out Charlie Robbins from Sacred Edition, it instantly turned into Tattoo Glide. So people started using it before they got tattooed. They couldn't feel the tattoo coming on, and then they used it as aftercare, and it keeps all the colors in and everything. But it's all natural stuff, and it's all on the side of the bottle, and it's all legal. And it got to the point. I mean, the kid knows what he's fucking doing,
right?
And I don't know anything about CBD. Like, I smoke weed every 4 years.
It's non-psychoactive.
Yeah,
like THC. It's
not
exactly.
The THC. It's not THC.
It's CBD. Yeah.
He's now. Since I met him 6 months ago, and now he's a music manager. So it's like he's going backwards, but he's doing bigger things. So this kid is doing what I tried doing in 2007, and he's made more leeway in 4 months than I ever did. He's working with Benzino now. He's working with, he just set up this new pool party that's coming up in Manchester, New Hampshire with Millie's, who's an upcoming rapper like crazy. He's doing Jadakiss. He's got all this crazy shit out there. And it's funny, man, because we linked, we got together, and then this stuff happened with Vice. I went my way, and then he fucking did the music stuff. He went his way.
Right.
So now I have $6,400 worth of beard shit in the back of my car, and I don't have time to sell it.
Oh, so that's just like a side hustle then, huh?
Yeah, it's basically, it's one of those things where hopefully, I mean, the cost that goes into it's crazy low, But the cool part about that is whenever we come up with a new idea or a new scent, we just come together and we say, listen, man, cash at me this amount and I'll cover all this amount. And,
Right.
And now I don't know where I have lavender and black cherry, you know? But it's something that's definitely could take off, and it's almost the same story, same dance though. You know, you have to give the shit away to most people. You have to discount it for most people. People aren't going to fucking throw my little...
Well, how much did it cost you to ship that shit to me? It was expensive, right?
It was like $14.
Yeah.
And you got like...
And it was like $20 for the actual product.
Yeah. And
so
then
like you're almost paying... You're almost paying the same in shipping as you are on the product.
Yeah, but then you have people that... Just like when people have Verizon and then people have, you know, Metro PCS, they're like, but I can get it for Metro and pay $2 a month, and you're like, all right, fucking, there's quality involved, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's the same thing, because I got Joe Schmo that's like, why wouldn't I sign up for Dollar Beard Club?
Right.
So, because one month they send you a sample of a piece of hair, and then another month you get a fucking comb,
right?
And there's a million of you fuck asses that are given $1, and they got $1 million to drop on $30,000 worth of combs, dude.
Exactly.
And you all feel special.
My wife is sensitive to smell too, and she doesn't mind. She actually enjoys the cherry. Like if I put the cherry on, she's like, you know, she thinks it smells good. She doesn't mind it at all. And she's usually really sensitive to smell. So. And
the crazy part is that the cherry stuff, after doing testing and all that cool stuff, it's wicked good for, not to sound Boston-y, but it's wicked good for straightening like fuzzy hair and for girls' hair or women's hair. It's a lot of guys are like, oh, I feel like I'm going to eat my beard. I'm like, use the sage one then, because I think the sage one smells like shit, honestly. But it's all about your smell, you know? But then the lavender beard balm, you know what I mean? It's one of those, like I said,
it's coffee. I fuck with the
coffee.
I
hate the coffee one.
Really?
I hate it.
When I met
him, I was picking up coffee and sage, dude. I was literally sitting there with a tin can, and I was like, dude, like, smells like shit, looks like shit.
Right.
Like, if I'm getting involved, man, let's revamp the logo. Let's do this. Then we started clashing ideas, and now we have that gorgeous little bottle. But that's the problem. You go through all these ideas, and you go through this marketing thing, and then you have two people going two different ways, and you can't have so many things going on at once, because everybody's always like, "Well, create 5 revenue streams."
Right.
What? So you can focus on 5 revenue streams, or do you want to create one massive revenue stream and then have 3 or 4 other little ones come in, so you don't have to worry about them?
Right.
That's the idea.
And it's shit that you like doing.
It's exactly. But that's what I mean. I mean, as much as I want to sit there and finish my real estate license, as much as he just threw a claw on himself, he's already buzzed. But as much as I want to do all this shit, dude, I want to be a fucking, you know what I mean? I want to be a skater. I don't know, but I want to do all this shit. But I want to also focus on one thing. And, and unfortunately for the beard stuff, Vice is my one thing right now. But I'm going to continue to give out samples, and I'm going to continue to spread word and do my own little cross promotion. But if you remember the story at the beginning of Capital Vice, I wasn't about the money because I didn't need it, you know?
Right.
And same thing with the beard oil. I mean, I'd rather see how many people we can get it in their hands before we start peddling it off so much, you know?
Right.
And it's going well so far, but it's all just sitting there. So I think that's going to be another thing to think about. I mean, build a little team, little street soldiers, if you will, and have them go push it to, you know, barbershops, tattoo parlors. Just give them the cut that they would deserve, and not be a pyramid scheme where, you know, Jimmy, get Jeff, and Jeff gets 4 friends. And it's not something I want to do, but if this thing rings one more time, I'm breaking my phone.
It's cool. It's kind of soothing.
Yeah, that's why it sucks. Let me shut it off.
It almost sounds like, I don't know, I can't come up with anything on the spot like that real quick.
Sex?
Right now. Now that I lost my train of thought from your goddamn fucking incessant alarms going off.
Sorry.
Where was I?
We were talking about the shipping costs.
The shipping costs and the fucking Google Analytics.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Yeah, man. So Capital Vice we just threw away. We went into the beard oil stuff, but no, we're gonna cross-brand it. We're gonna cross-promote it. It's just thinking of the right time.
But Vice is like your baby. That's your
Rice,
fucking
Rice. Capital Rice is my baby. But yeah,
that wasn't an Asian accent. That was just because we said rice. So don't fucking come at me with that shit, motherfucker.
Jesus. But yeah,
I gotta cover myself. You know the internet's crazy crazy.
No, I
You
know.
never know when you're going to go from fucking nobody to like
Somebody, yeah.
And I mean, that's not what I'm hoping for, but like if that shit happens, I got to cover my fucking bases, you know?
Capital Vice.
Capital Vice.
Yes, my baby. It's something where I went through so much shit with that. I mean,
Right.
dude, I don't know if you remember that, but before you moved away, I mean, I had fucking 3 people pretending to be me on Twitter. One of them was like,
I remember that, yeah.
One of them was like funny, dude. I like followed it like I would follow something. You know what I
Right.
mean? I was so intrigued
That's
with what
weird.
they were writing, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, some of the shit was mad funny.
Right.
Like,
I remember that. That was
but
a
then
really
some of
weird
them were
fucking-
like a little bit like, all right, dude. Like, I understand you don't like me, obviously, but like,
Did you know who it was?
yeah, I found
You
out
do.
who
You
it
did.
was. They still try to do little shit,
Right.
but they fucked up. You know what's cool about Google Analytics?
Google, hey, cuz
Dude,
bring it back around.
The big A, and I'm not talking about AIDS. The Google Analytics tracks your IP address, and then it links it to an email address.
Yeah.
So even if so the only place that I can like compare this to that a lot of people are going to get sketched out now because I know and a lot of people don't. But Vitamin Shop, when you open a Vitamin Shop door and you walk in, it instantly takes your email address off your phone. They have a scanner, and that's how they create their email list, where a lot of people will notice from GNC or Vitamin Shop, without even stepping foot inside their website, they get emails.
Really?
So that's how Google Analytics works. If you log into a fucking website, they go, Johnny Nitro uses this IP address mostly. If you're on if you're on your phone, it's going to pull up your iCloud or your Gmail. And these ass fucks had literally that. They went on, they went to make fun of it to someone or something, and out of nowhere, it's like, your site's been viewed 8 times today by
Right.
blank at fuckass.com.
Right.
So I was like, all right. So I ended up reaching out to like 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, hey, what's going on, bud? Like, how you doing? Like, you looking for a discount? What was up with that? And they're like, what are you talking about? Instantly, they all say that. Like, oh no, it wasn't me, man. I'm too old for that now.
Right.
Oh, so it was you before, but it's not you. I get it, man. I get it. I'm going to continue to save money, and I'm going to continue to do the right thing, you know? And that's what it was. Then they would always be like, oh, man, you live in your house. Like, you could have a house. Why don't you have a house, man? Because I lost, like, $5,000 a week gambling. I was
Right.
making crazy money at my old job.
Right.
I'm finally making it again. But, dude, there's reasons. I don't know. My parents love me, dude. They live in a nice house, and it's almost paid off, and I don't bother them. Like,
Right.
there's only so many things you can say to that. But
Right.
now I have my head on my shoulders a little bit better, and I'm saving money, and I'm doing it the right way. But it got to the point where I understood where people were coming from. I mean, they were like, oh, this kid's going to fucking come out with this week. Next week he has something else. Yeah, I get it, man. I'm trying out everything until it fails.
I mean,
'Cause
I've
I'm
had a food cart. I
Yeah.
tried, failed. I had a bartending business. I tried, failed. I mean, it's just you
try
figure out what you
whatever.
don't. I have a real estate license that I don't practice right now.
Yeah.
Like you got to do shit to decide if you want to do it or not.
It's
you know?
trial and error, dude. Like, for instance, I don't think I'm Timbaland anymore. I'm not making beats. I'm not recording people in my basement.
I think that we should once we both have a little bit of money in the bank. I think we should resurrect Diamond Art Records.
Just for that I feel like, no, what was that song? We have to get Vincent involved, man.
We had a couple songs that
I be wondering.
I used to do, so I would do, because I would sing and I would do the I would do
choruses of
hooks for
the
you,
hooks.
and then you would let me record acoustic
I be
music,
wondering,
and I did
be
acoustic
wondering.
covers of Lil Wayne.
I feel like dying, dude.
I did.
Oh my god.
And we would just get fucked up, and I'd come over. I'd be like, "Can I say Tomato on here?"
Yeah.
Your nickname Tomato. I'd say, Tomato, can I come over and record some shit for my album? And you'd be like, yeah, I could come over. And I'd come over and be like, you can record some shit, but you got to do these hooks first. Oh, and you got to drink the shit with me too. So then we would start drinking.
Oh yeah, dude, that was my go-to. I loved that shit.
I got some shit recorded, but it was pretty bad. Then we did the Diamond Arts collection album.
Dude.
And we had to take it on tour,
Dude.
to Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Oh my god.
So that's
the bow-legged story place.
I worked at IKEA at the time. Ooh, I'm fucking like,
You did?
I could fix this shit like in post, but yeah, I worked at IKEA at the time. You don't remember this?
I didn't know you worked at IKEA. I wouldn't have hung out with you.
Oh, motherfucker, I was paying my goddamn bills.
You're the devil.
I worked at IKEA, and I had I took like a month off because we were supposed to go to Elizabeth, New Jersey, and then we were supposed to go from Elizabeth, New Jersey with Diamond R Records down to like Florida, down the East Coast, and we were gonna tour all these fucking dive bars and shit,
dude.
And we made it as far as we went to Atlantic City.
It was the first stop.
We were like. It had to be like 18, 19. I was the oldest one.
You were the oldest,
and I think I was
you were,
18.
No, you were 19. You were 19.
I had to, 18 or 19.
You and Tommy were the big. No, you and Vincent were the big 19, and I was 17 or 18. And Tommy Tourette's. Nobody knows his age. Nobody really knows his age.
Does he still exist? Is he still
No,
alive?
he's still around, I think.
He's still around?
I haven't spoke to him in 17,000 years.
So I don't remember the first stop, but...
I remember the first stop.
Well, do you remember we stayed in like a bunch of shithole fucking hotels the whole time, and then we went the last night we were in Atlantic City. We went to like the really nice Tropicana, and it was like the same fucking price like a deluxe room.
It was like $39.
Yeah,
it was $39, and we fit 4 of us. And I remember me and Tommy were the only 2 people that had fake IDs.
No, well, I remember. So when we
I have to pee. What do we do when I have to pee?
What do we have to do? We just let the shit play when you have to pee because I can edit it out afterwards. It's not a big deal. Or I could sit and talk. But
you want to sit and talk?
No, you go take a piss. We'll let the shit play. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave it for a second.
They just crushed through you.
I've learned to not fucking edit it because then I have to edit it.
Oh, you have to stop and go?
Yeah, I just pissed outside. I'm back, and I just pissed outside while you pissed in the bathroom.
Oh, there we
Whatever,
go.
fuck it.
We're back.
No laws when you're drinking claws, right? We should have just crossed streams. If there's no laws when you're drinking claws, we would have just pissed in the toilet
at this point. I feel like we should reach out to White Claw and try to figure this out before this takes off. And
I feel like I've been talking about White Claws for fucking weeks. They're probably like, who's this fucking idiot who keeps tagging us on fucking Instagram?
I love it. So, right, anyway. So we got to Elizabeth, New Jersey. And
but wait, Elizabeth was the last step. We're going too fast. We stopped somewhere where we went to White Castle. Remember? We went to White Castle.
That was.
We had a little hotel, and you went in to talk to him, and you accused me of smoking weed in your dad's truck.
You and Vincent.
And to this day, we're going to put this on record right here. To this day, I did not smoke in your dad's truck.
Okay, so my side of the story.
I did not.
My side. I didn't even look you in the eyes because I know it. Vincent definitely smoked in my dad's truck then and passed you the weed outside the window.
We didn't.
All right, so ready? Here's my vision. I come out of this hotel. I'm already hot and bothered because I got sent in there after like 9 hours of driving.
You hated weed at the time. You
hated weed. I thought weed was fentanyl. I thought weed was fentanyl.
You thought I was the devil because I was always blazed. And you'd be like, you got fucking Vincent high.
Yeah, it's just sitting there like, you're getting all my friends high. We're trying to do music here. But yeah, he's sitting there smoking fentanyl. And I was like, dude, I'm going to go in this hotel. Tommy, come with me. And Tommy was like he's my go-to, I guess, because he didn't really smoke weed. He just wanted to get weird. And
yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Oh, there was somebody else there, though. Wasn't there?
No,
Minus?
It was me.
Wasn't there another rapper?
No, Minus just floated around like my basement. Minus never left Braintree. I think he moved to Florida at one point, but no. Minus was just he was there in spirit.
That's another rapper. That's not somebody's actual name.
Yeah, his name is he was Diamond Art's 3rd best performer. But yeah,
I was number 2, I think.
So anyways, we roll up to this shanty. It's like $13 a night. And they're like, oh, Wilson, you get out. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't just drive 6 hours. I'll get out. So I'm like, Tommy, come with. And Tommy was like, all right, I'm rolling. And I turned back around, and I remember snarling and being like, don't smoke. You're cannabis in my dad's truck. And they're like, dude, what? Like, we wouldn't do that. And then I go in.
I rolled the fattest fucking, and I had shitty weed at the time, so I was like, I just need to roll a bunch of it. So I rolled the fattest fucking blunt of some shit weed you've ever seen.
So, anyways, back to my side of the story. So he's rolling up his Snickle Fritz or Kind Bud, whatever it was, and I come out of the thing. I'm like, yeah, we got it. Like I paid him in ones, and we got the hotel room. And I come out, and all the windows in the pickup truck are down. So I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers smoked in the truck. And they're both sitting there blazed out of their mind. Like, dude, both their eyes are just pinging.
We were outside the truck, though. We weren't
So they just rolled down all the windows just so the truck could smell like weed, I guess. I'm not sure what their angle was.
I think the windows were already down, and we just were
No.
too fucking stoned to roll them down.
You name one foursome that rolls down all the windows, drives on the highway for 6 hours. Maybe the top two windows.
We had rolled them down. Well, no, because that wasn't. We were getting into some East Bump, but we smoked a fat blunt, and I just remember V had his fucking afro like all completely out. And his eyes were fucking so red, and he was trying to make PB&Js or some shit.
Dude,
I took him to White Castle. We all went to White Castle.
We walked in. That place hasn't seen a customer in at least 4 years.
Yeah,
they were like, "We got customers!" They start screaming, and Perry and Vincent order like a number one each, which at White Castle is fucking stupid. It's like 18 burgers.
Good. It was after Harold and Kumar had come out, so I was like, "Oh, this shit's gonna be so good."
Oh my god!
And we ordered so much, we were like, "This is fucking terrible."
It was like a number one was like 18 liquid burgers. It was like 2 things of fries and 2 big gulps.
They were like mushy. It was just like the bread and the meat was combined.
We all ordered number ones, and like we paid their rent for that week. But we all ordered number ones, and I think I had 3 burgers, and I was like, each burger tastes different. I'm not fucking eating here. And I went back out to my truck, and then out of nowhere, these 2 potheads stroll out, and they're like, you know what? Let's go smoke. I'm like, fucking walk it off, fellas. I was like such a hardo, and they like were like, fine, like fuck you, and just walked and smoked. And then we went back to the shitty hotel, and then I had a brilliant idea to go to the strip club. But Perry...
We went to go get liquor. Didn't both of us go in to get liquor?
No,
like,
I didn't.
One of us won. But one went in first.
Tommy went in first. They were like, you are never getting liquor.
No, but one of us went in first, and they got it. It was either I went in and got liquor, and you got a liquor. But one of us went first and was like, okay, they were good. Like, let me try.
Yeah, and
it might
I
have
went
been
in,
you went first.
and then I
came
out.
I was like, you look younger. You go first, and if you don't get carded, then I'll go in because I look older, and we just got like a 30 rack of Bud Light each.
You see what cannabis does? We already went over the story.
What?
Now we're back to it.
I
On
know.
the way out, I was the second person to go in, and you called me bow-legged.
But I thought you said that you were the first. Who was the first? Me?
No, I went. Tommy was the first, and they shut him down.
No, because one person, we got 2 30 racks. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but Tommy went in first, and they shut him down.
I know, but I went in as well.
Oh yeah, you might have went in. Yeah,
and then one of us went in and was like, "Oh, we got the beer."
Oh, this is all coming
then,
back to me now.
Yeah,
this is all
one of us went in first and was like, "Oh, he served me alcohol." So one of us should else, and then we got 2 30 racks.
I remember that. So now
we got real weird.
Yep. So
went to the strip club.
Nope. I'm going to continue.
Remember the Jack
story.
Daniels?
I'm going to tell you all the story.
Oh, the Tylenol PM.
So once again, Perry had a fucking weed problem, I guess. But we had to go
Still
up
do.
2 flights of stairs. I remember this place now. It was the shittiest hotel in the world. There was no Uber, dude. There was just sketchy taxis, cash. I'm pretty sure none of us had debit cards. And I was like, dude, let's all go to the strip club. Like, I got a fake ID. Vincent was like being weird. Vincent was like, I don't want to do anything. And we're like, all right, that's cool, man. And then Perry was like, yeah, I'll go. And then he starts rolling a blunt, him and Vincent a smoke. And then Vincent looks over and he's like, yo, what the fuck are you putting in the blunt? And all I remember was Perry's like, oh, it's Tylenol PM.
I didn't put Tylenol PM in the blunt.
Yeah, you did. You like crushed it and sprinkled it.
I was like snorting Tylenol PM. I was like 19 and I thought that shit got you fucked up. It doesn't.
No,
I don't know where
zombied.
I got that.
Got you zombied.
And, but do you remember walking to the strip club and some dude busts out of, it was like a movie. We're walking down the street and some
guy like behind us or whatever?
Well, no, he busted out of like a door on the side like the goddamn Kool-Aid man. It was like, I got that H. And I'm like, is that heroin? Like, is that what he's asking us? And I'm like, no, do you got any weed? He's like, if you take me across town, I can get you some weed. And we're like, nah.
We're good. I'm pretty sure you insisted.
I think I was drinking Jack Daniels too.
Yeah, no, you were all fucked up. We went in there and there was like a bunch of Russian strippers.
Do you remember? No, there was a hot ass stripper. You remember that?
No.
There was a hot stripper. And I think you, and V all got dances from her, and some busted old chick came over.
Vincent
and we were
slept.
like, oh, V didn't come.
So Tommy got the gross girl.
Well, yeah, so me and you got lap dances from the hot girl, and
Yes.
the old busted rickety chick. I mean, I apologize. That's what she was.
That was.
But she came over and she was like, "Do you guys want to dance?" And we were like, "Oh, our friend Tommy wants to dance."
Oh my God, he got
and
stuck.
Poor Tommy got stuck with this chick. And
the whole walk. No, we actually walked home from that because the strip club was probably a rock throw away from the shanty that we were staying in, and that walk home was funny, man.
That stripper looked like I remember she had short hair. Like, I don't know why this is burning my brain, but she kind of looked like if like Kris Kardashian looked her age. Like, if I imagine what Kris Kardashian, if she looked how old she was.
All I know is Tommy was like,
so she wasn't like busted, but she was old as fuck.
Bro, Tommy, I remember we got back to the hotel room and Tommy was like, dude, like the place was sick. And then like, we all started geeking out laughing, and like Vincent woke up, he's like, how was it? And we were like, oh, like there's no way to describe, man, you should have came. And then Tommy was just looking around, like you could tell in his face that he got like the worst lap dance from like the grossest war pig in that whole place. But he was just like, he still smelled like her, and he was just pumped. Because it's one of those things where you experience something new. But this gets back to the grand finale. the grand finale of Atlantic City. You ready for this? So we show up to the one-stop shop tour.
Well, that was in Elizabeth, New Jersey. We were like, fuck it, let's go to AC, party like we're rappers and shit. And
no, but that was the fun part. So we go to Atlantic City, and I don't know why, but I was like, dude, let's try seeing if that shiny building over there has any rooms. Because we all had flip phones at the time, too. This is like fucking old, bro.
Yeah, after staying, this was like, this was years ago. And this was after like staying in a bunch of shitty.
This was 08.
Yeah.
Because it was a year after I graduated.
High school, yeah.
So we get to the Tropicana and we're like, dude, this is a shot out of a fucking dick. We're like, hey, you guys got any rooms? They're like, yep. Millions. We're like, awesome. How much? They were like $39. And
yeah, it
we
was
were
like the same price as what we paid at the shithole.
So we're shook, obviously, right? And out of nowhere, I don't know if it was like flyers or what, but it was like P. Diddy's Battle of the Bands or some shit. I forget what it was. It was like P. Diddy and like Rockefeller and like all this shit. They were like, come perform.
In Elizabeth, New Jersey. Which was a shithole. No offense to Elizabeth, New Jersey, but
all offense. That place is a shithole.
It was a shithole.
Dude, that place sucks. But so we were like, fuck, man, Vincent, this is your big break, bro. You guys got IB Wondering, you got all this shit out that we recorded.
He didn't do any of that. We were like, do the songs that were like, do these songs. He's like, nope.
And he's like, I'm gonna do oh my God. Ha 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 ha, money in the bank.
Yeah, that was a dope song, but
I looked at Vincent and I'm like, yo, Perry's here. Why don't you do IB Wondering? IB Wondering was a song that hit home for everybody. It was just like a sad fuck song.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro, you got like Rockefeller, you got a bunch of people here. And V's like, yo, I don't want to like perform that a bunch of people. Like, I want to get them hype. We're like, all right, whatever, dude. So we agree on it. We get to the door at Elizabeth, New Jersey. They're like, all right, your name? I'm like, yeah, his name is V-Head, and he's with Diamond Out Records. They're like, yeah, we don't see you on the list. And I'm like, no, I called. They're like, yeah, you didn't speak to anybody here. We're like, fuck. They're like, $250 and he can perform. Remember that?
Oh, I don't even remember that.
V comes out to the truck like, all right, man, good news, bad news. Like, good news is I get to perform. Bad news is I need $250. So we're all gonna like put the cash up, and I'll go perform. And I remember like Tommy looked at me and then like looked at the road like, dude, I don't have fucking money to get
I know.
home.
I think I blew all my money at the casino.
And then I looked at Perry, and Perry's looking at me like it looks like I'm not performing type shit. And then I looked at V, and I was like, I'll cover 50 of it, dude. I need to get this gas home. And V had like probably 280 on him. And I was like, how bad do you want it? It was one of those like inspirational like, how bad do you want it, V? Do you want to go for it? I'll give you $50.
Right.
Which was, dude, back in 08, that was a fucking shot in the dark. I'm like, all right, we got 80 to get home. Like, dude.
I know.
And he was like, fuck it. He's like, I'll do it.
Not.
And he wowed the stage. I mean, the stage was lit, but it was just him. So there's no hype man. There was nothing. Right. It was just him doing the chorus, him doing the verses. And everybody was dapping him up, being like, yo, you're good. You know what I mean? That was good shit. And then he ended up coming in like third place or like fourth place out of like 6. And we were like, what the fuck happened? And it was like people from Elizabeth, New Jersey that won. People that had a name.
Right.
People that had a name. And all I keep remembering and all I keep laughing about was the one show we were supposed to do didn't exist. I remember like I tried calling the promoter when we were there, and he was like, yo, there's no... We basically took that trip to have stories about a trip, and we stumbled across a fucking performance Because
I
that's
just
the
wanted
only.
to be part of a hip hop label.
That's what I
all.
mean,
I
dude.
still want to be part of a hip hop label.
Dude, it's Diamond Art Records, the coolest fucking name in the game.
That's just gonna get resurrected. I'm
Dude,
telling
I can't
you.
wait. My first million, I'm dropping at least 920,000 on Diamond Art. Dude, I'm not letting that die. So Diamond Art's my first baby. Fuck Vice. Fuck the beard oil.
I feel like didn't Diamond Art Records didn't Capital Vice come from some type of name that you had? Wasn't Diamond Art's a different name? No.
Diamond Art was Diamond Art Records was my basement.
Right.
And then
But didn't you call a record? Like, didn't you still do recording under a Capital name?
That was the whole scheme behind Capital Vice.
And then Capital Vice became a clothing brand, right?
Yeah, so my brand...
Fuck, how did I just remember that?
Dude, because ready for this? So my brand was Diamond Art Records, right? I brought all my stuff into a studio in Brockton.
I remember that. I went there a couple times.
Yep.
And you had a bunch of rappers there. That shit was fucking... I
always
loved
freestyling,
hanging out
dude.
there.
Always,
dude,
yeah.
That
Dude,
was
we had fun.
Fucking good time.
Between that and Albion, it's like, what do you do? What
you
days
would just
aren't
go
your
in and
fucking Saturdays?
there would be like local rappers just fucking smoking blunts.
Just
and
before
doing freestyles and
ciphers
shit.
were ciphers. People would go in there. I remember at one point someone flipped like the granite table and broke it. I thought I had to pay for it, and like out of nowhere. But the whole thing was that place was
I
called.
forgot about that shit.
Dude, that place was called Capital Vice Records.
Capital Vice Records.
So
yes.
all my equipment went there, and one day I went to go in there, and the fucking locks changed, and I was like, "Yo," called the dude. I'm
you
like,
don't fuck around in Brockton, bro.
but I'm like, "Yo, hey man," like, just white as can be. Like, "Hey man, my computer's in there, and my a bunch of my microphone. I don't know if you guys accidentally changed the locks. Never got a call back." So I'm like, "All right, two
Nobody
can play at
informed me
that
of
game."
this change.
So I was sitting there, and I was like, "You know what, dude? Fuck it." I was like, I'm now creating a clothing line, and it's going to be called Capital Vice Apparel. And I was like, if they're going to take my stuff, I'm going to take their name. And I took the name and I branded it. And then I copywrote it too.
So they can't do shit.
They can't do anything. But the cool part was, it's like my computer's probably still there.
They just took all your shit. So all my songs are probably on there.
All of them, dude. All the mix and mastering for I.B. Wonder and
If
all
I
that.
hear my shit on a hip hop track that comes
Bro.
out one day, I'm gonna lose my mind.
And
I'll
they're
be
gonna
like,
be
just fucking give me a shout out. I don't even want the money.
But that's
Just give
the
me
cool
fucking
part, bro.
shout
They
out.
have the original version of I Feel Like Dying With You.
No, that's on MySpace. You can still get that on MySpace.
Shout out MySpace.
MySpace.com/Perry Phillips if you want to hear some really embarrassing.
Don't plug that.
Some really embarrassing songs that I wrote
Dude,
when I was like 15 years
MySpace
old.
is gonna get like 55 hits tonight. They're like, what the
You're
fuck?
you're giving this show a lot more credit than
No, this one's gonna air in like 6 weeks, bro. I'm gonna build this up.
I know we got time to talk
We
about
do,
it.
but no. So I just remembered. So we'll go off topic of that. So yeah, Elizabeth, New Jersey, dude. We had the time of our lives. We stayed and we had our experiences that we can still talk to until this day. We made awesome friendships, minus Tommy Tourette's. Don't know where you are, but
Shout out Tommy Tourette's. I think that was his last name too.
no,
think
I know
that
his
might have
last name.
It's definitely Tourette's. We
It
should
is
look him
now.
up. Tommy Tourette's.
Yeah, we'll look up. Yeah, we'll use the white pages. But something that's crazier than that. So Perry always followed my lead. A lot of my bullshit was bullshit, but the one fun time that I could talk about, another hotel room experience with me and you.
Oh, well, that was kind of bullshit too, but it was worth the trip for the bullshit.
Bro, we went in there and there was literally $1 million something studio there.
There was.
There
but
was
I
a
just don't
fucking
understand
party.
what we were doing there.
No, we went in there to like, dude, we were,
It's like
dude,
the
we
mix
brought,
and
we
mingle.
we brought,
We were kids.
dude, we were probably 18, once again, 18, 19, probably fresh from our amazing tour in Elizabeth, New Jersey. But I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, and he's like, yo, you still recording? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm not into rappers. And I'm like, me neither. And he's like, you record anybody that knows how to play acoustic? I'm like, yeah, my boy Perry.
Oh, that's why I was there?
Yeah, I was like, my boy
forgot
Perry,
about
dude,
that.
he's flipping awesome. And I hit up Perry, and I'm like, dude, do you want to go to a multi-million-dollar mansion in, what was it, Maine or New Hampshire?
It was
or
New
some
Hampshire.
shit? New Hampshire. I'm like, they got like a
My
$2
buddy's
million
coming in here,
studio.
real quick. It's fine.
But I was like, yeah, they have like a $2 million studio.
You can come in. It's fine.
I was like, yeah, they got. I'm gonna say it again.
Go ahead.
They have a $2 million studio, and we'll go there, and I'll introduce you to some big producers, and we'll get hammered, and it will be fun. And before I even hung up the phone, Perry Phillips whips in his fucking Scion CT, and he's like, "Let's head to New Hampshire."
Dude, that's the thing. I always said yes to you though. Anytime you had some fucking scheme.
It was, dude, as weird as it was, as cool as it was a fun fucking
Jay, you
time.
can come over here, dude. This isn't like. We just
What's
had,
up, man?
My buddy just
I
got
haven't seen
here,
you in, like,
and he's
years.
creeping around
How
in
you
the
doing, man?
background like a fucking weirdo.
But yeah,
this is the drinking podcast, so you can sit down. Do you have any like funny? You say a lot of funny shit. Do you remember him coming? Do you remember him coming to the Albion house?
no, I don't.
No,
I don't.
we fucking ran shit at that house. We won't get into that shit right now, but just because it was, well, we might be able to.
It was,
but
yeah. We'll get into it.
we're
a
getting
little
off
bit.
topic.
I was gonna
right
say,
now.
I just
I
looked
can
around at
edit
this
this
living
shit
room.
out.
I remember like the first week that I met you, I tried fighting someone right outside of this living
Yeah,
room.
you were always trying to fight somebody. You fucking headbutted me. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because I thought you smoked meth.
No, I did ecstasy.
Yeah, you did ecstasy.
I did ecstasy. And I was like, yeah, what's up, man? You're like, tell me all this shit. I was like, I just did ecstasy. And you fucking headbutted me.
Bro, Mark, remember like 15 minutes
And you
prior
were wearing
to
a
this podcast.
breathalyzer. Can I paint a picture real quick? You were wearing a fucking, it was Halloween, and you were wearing a breathalyzer costume, and the breathalyzer was your dick. And I told you I had just done some ecstasy, and you fucking headbutted me. Your immediate response, because you were so drunk, was to headbutt me.
My favorite thing is I left
In the
here and
fucking
I
face.
went to another party. No bullshit. I went to another party. I went in the bathroom, thought it was an awesome idea to cut that little hole and put my real dick through. And
Jesus
I would
Christ.
be like, blow in the breathalyzer. And then like one guy was like, dude, if you do that to my girlfriend again, I'm going to fuck you up. And I thought about headbutting him too. And like, I just didn't because I was a pussy.
This is allegedly, because I feel like you can definitely get charged with like a sex crime for that. But this is
No, you
allegedly.
can't.
Oh,
You need to be on film. You need to be on film for that.
So did you want to talk about any more Capital Vice stuff, or were we gonna? You were in the middle of saying something with the Diamond Art Record shit. Capital Vice, steal the name. We
Yeah,
just
no,
got
then
off
we
the
talked
rails
about
a
the
little bit.
yeah, we did the Diamond Art, and then we were talking about the $2 million studio. We ended up
Oh yeah,
renting-
yeah. So we went there. Continue.
Yeah, we rented out
hotel.
another hotel.
It was
and
just
that-
me and you.
Yeah, and that like we would just play beer pong. It was like a
We
trucker
played
stop
beer
hotel.
pong together in the hotel room to pregame for this party.
And then we went there, and I'm pretty sure they said like nobody was allowed in yet, so we had to drive back. We drank more, and then we went. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it was such a shit show. I don't even think we like stayed. We ended up leaving and going back to the hotel and playing beer pong
Dude,
the whole night.
we
'cause
walked into this guy's $2 million studio, and I was like, "Hey,
I forgot
can we?"
about this
I was like,
shit.
"Can we see that studio?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, you're just gonna meet a couple people first." And he was like, "This is Benny, Susan, blah blah blah." And then out of nowhere, they were like, "All right, yeah, so come back in a couple hours." And they said something like that, and I'm like, "What?" So we went back to the hotel. We got fucking hammered and never showed back up.
I remember that. They probably just wanted us to fuck out. They were like, "Who the fuck invited
Yeah, they're like,
these
"Yeah,
people?"
yeah, meet Susie and fuck off, dude."
I forgot about that shit. We got hammered just hanging out.
We were
at
there
the hotel.
strictly because they asked me if I knew anybody that knew how to play guitar, and I know you owned one, and you
I owned
covered,
one, and
you covered Lil Wayne, and you were like the shit at the time.
I could play. I played at parties just because I thought it would get me laid. It never got me
No.
laid.
Still a virgin.
I'm still a fucking virgin. My wife is like, I can't fuck you. I don't know why, but so wait, hold on. I want to talk real quick about something before we start wrapping it up. Fuck. What was I just gonna say? Okay, so now that my buddy Jameson's here, since you're fucking walking in on the podcast, you don't remember us coming to the Rockland house?
No,
And
I remember there was a time where you and someone else smoked in my BMW. That's like your infamous move.
That.
You smoke in
Okay, that
people's
time I
dad's
did.
trucks?
I did smoke in your BMW, but I did not smoke in your dad's truck.
So they fishbowl my BMW. Were you part of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So
if
mind you. So I had a place in Rockland, Massachusetts. It was on Albion Street. I threw the biggest bangers there. Like my
you threw
birthday.
big parties.
Dude, my birthday.
I threw the biggest parties
No.
at my mom's house that one time when I was like, you went to that shit. When I was like 17, that was the biggest fucking party.
My
I think.
birthday, dude. I'm telling
I'll
you.
talk about that at some other time. But your parties were fucking dope.
So Perry shows up once again in his legendary
Can
Scion.
I stop you real quick?
Go ahead.
Do you remember how I was greeted the first time I came to your house? Jay, do you remember? You'll remember this. So the first time I went to your fucking house, I was greeted, I think it was Herbie, and he goes, "Are you Perry?" And he says it like he's going to fuck me up. I'm like, "Yeah." And he fucking walks up to me all aggressively, and he fucking pulls out a bottle of vodka, and he's like, "Tomato said you're cool shit. This is for you. come party. He
Yeah.
said something along those lines.
Yeah, it was
That's
something
how
out
I
of
was
the movie.
greeted. I was like, oh, okay. And so I grabbed the bottle of Grey Goose. I was handed a bottle, like unopened, of Grey Goose. I didn't even fucking know this guy. And I walk into the party, and then, yeah, it was fucking nuts after that.
That place is awesome. I remember when the cops showed up on my birthday. They showed up because everybody was playing Rock Band too loud. And I remember they showed up at like 4 a.m. And no, it wasn't my birthday. This was Halloween once again. But this time I wasn't a breathalyzer. I was a transvestite, and I
don't think you can say that anymore.
I was a gender neutral. What's the?
You were, I think you can say Zer. Maybe you were a Zer.
I was a Zer. Okay. So yeah, I was that. I was that. And but yeah, I remember I was wearing a tutu and I had a fake BB gun on my pants pocket or whatever the fuck that thing's called.
The fuck?
And I swear to God, the cops showed up and I whipped out the BB gun and everybody's like, no. And like the cops were like, all right, you hammered. You're wearing a tutu. Like, what the fuck? Put down the fake gun. And they looked over at everybody and everybody that was playing Rock Band was just frozen. And the cop was literally like, I don't know how drunk you guys are, but I can see you. And I know for a fact that none of you guys are 21 years old. Like,
Jesus.
Unplug the Rock Band, and everybody's just, like, still pretending to be frozen. I was like, dude, unplug the fucking shit. The guy's like, you unplug the Rock Band and stop playing tonight? Like, you're fine. If not, we're going to have to start checking IDs. We unplugged it, dude. And I remember looking in that living room. It was, like, 2 sets of drums. It was always, like, drum offs.
That shit was loud.
I like I said, you had a Scion, dude. I had a BMW at that time, and I walked out, and you guys were fishbowling my BMW. You could have smoked in your Scion. I don't know
Maybe
why.
it was The Godfather. I might have been smoking with The Godfather.
I think you were.
I think he had just fucked some girl in your bushes, and then
Yes,
and
I
then
remember
I was
that.
like, "You want to smoke?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I remember, I don't want to put him on blast, but you'll know who it is. He's sticking fucking thumbtacks in his ears, and then chugging dish detergent.
Oh, that was that was the H word.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
fucking crazy, bro.
yeah. That was like I walked in and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a fucking shit show."
Yeah, it's a frat
I need to
house.
go smoke some weed in a BMW to fucking gather my thoughts.
Yeah, I remember coming out and I was pissed off, but yeah.
Well, now that everybody knows that you're a degenerate, now that we've killed some claws, we've talked some Diamond Arts records, Capital Vice records, Capital Vice Apparel, Shed When I'm Dead, Beard
Ooh,
Bomb.
Yep.
Where? All right, let's start to wrap it up because this shit's starting to go off the rails, and I think it's been fun as fuck though.
Hell yeah. That's what we do.
I want to know where people can find your shit. Tell them
Only on
Instagram.
at Capital Vice Apparel Instagram. I need you to share. I need you to tag. I need you to do whatever you can to get me.
Oh shit, we got somebody in studio,
So you
and
missed
by
the first
studio,
part.
I'm talking about my mom's living room.
If I can get to 120,000 followers, I get my meeting with Zoomies and Paxson.
Yeah.
I'm stuck at like 80,000.
So go do that shit. He's about to follow that shit right now. So, I mean, if my fucking dumbass friend can figure it out, I think anybody can.
But yeah, so at Capital Vice Apparel, get me to the 120. That's the goal.
And what else? Any events? Anything else you want to plug before you
Not right
fucking
now.
shout out?
Honestly, I have a couple, but I'm going to be sketchy and not do it.
Okay, whatever. It was fun,
I need
dude.
the rest of the I need the details before I can do it. I need the deets.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you when this is gonna come out.
Okay.
You're gonna plug the fucking shit out of it.
Yes.
It's been fun. I love fucking kicking it with you. Are you gonna come out with us tonight?
Where you going?
I don't know. I gotta go. My wife's out somewhere. They left us the house, so we could. I think they thought we were fucking.
I'm off tonight. I'm still down to fuck.
It's up to
But
you.
I'm also dressed like someone's lawyer, so I got to figure out
All right.
if I have
Well,
pants.
we'll figure our plans out off the fucking.
But we have to. You know what we should shoot for, honestly?
What?
Doing a part 2 of this, because I know that there's
Oh
going to be a
no,
lot.
we're gonna do a part 2.
But we're going to have to do a vlog.
Massachusetts. Well, I mean, I'm still just building it up. I'm still
No, I
trying
know,
to get.
but within 6-7 weeks, we're going to do a vlog, and I'll
Okay.
set it up.
Okay.
We'll do it big
Oh,
time.
like a video, like a
video
okay.
podcast. That way
Okay.
people can see our interaction.
Right.
Because they can only hear our dumb voices. They don't know what we're actually like.
I know. I mean, well, I feel like we should sit on each other's laps if we do it.
I was
though.
gonna say
we
faces.
can't though. Oh,
I was gonna say
faces.
but yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah,
All right.
no. We got our paws on some claws. Thanks everybody for listening. Follow
Thank
Capital
you.
Vice Apparel.
At Capital Vice Apparel.
Just that's the A with the circle thing around it.
If
It's
you're
not
not
AT.
fucking square. At Capital Vice Apparel. Thank you for listening to the Itty Bitty Podcast. I apologize for getting drunk and being unprofessional. It won't happen again.
Yes, I will.
All right. We'll see you guys fucking. Well, I won't see you. You'll hear my fucking voice and I'll beg you to like my shit. But
Diamond
I'll
Art
talk to-
Records out.
Diamond Art Records is out. Peace. All right, thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Itty Bitty Podcast. Don't forget to download, review, and subscribe. You can check this podcast out wherever you get podcasts, Google Play, Apple. We also have it up on the website when it goes live on ittybittypodcast.com. You can also get our other podcast, Choice Nugs Only, on there as well. Check us out on social media, on Twitter at Itty Bitty Pcast, and on Instagram, Itty Bitty Podcast, as well as with Choice Nugs Only as well. You can check that out. It's Choice Nugs Only on Instagram, and then at Choice Nugs Only for the Twitter. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Peace.